Anatoly is trying to make his demolished house a home again, one nail at a time. But without a roof, plastic sheeting on the windows won't make much of a difference. This is all they could salvage. Anatoly is overwhelmed by what he and his wife Svetlana found when they returned to their village of Prudyanka. What can I say, he asks. You can see for yourself. Svetlana was born in this house 53 years ago. Her reaction? Pain, she says. Shock, pain, terrible pain and bitterness. The fruits of a life's labor withered on the vine. This is what happened to many of the towns and villages caught on the front lines in this war. They were totally destroyed. Up the road, residents unload relief supplies trucked into the town of Kozachій Лопані.
Людям, які співпрацювали з місцевою адміністрацією.
Mayor Vyacheslav Zadorenko is back in his office after months away. He says these armbands were handed out to the workers in the local Russian-installed administration, food provided to collaborators and newspapers. About 100 people were collaborators, he tells me. When the Russians left, most left with them. Alexander from the mayor's office shows us where town residents were brought for interrogation and torture in a dark basement. As many as 30 people to a cell. Prisoners, he says, were seated in this chair and subjected to electric shocks. Vadim spent a few days there. He recalls his interrogators beat him first, then asked questions.
They
beat me on my back, my head, then shoved me on the floor and kicked me, he says. Then they gave me a cigarette and started the interrogation. They asked me if I was pro-Ukrainian. I'm Ukrainian, I said. Of course I'm pro-Ukrainian. He was released, but his son Vladimir was taken by the Russians. He's still missing. Vitaly draws water from the neighborhood well. He recalls when Russian soldiers asked if he and his wife had any Nazis at home. This is a normal village, he chuckles into retelling. We're farmers and workers. Kozachій Лопані is the last stop on the train line before the Russian border. Soldiers took over the railway station. These are all letters and pictures sent by Russian school children to the soldiers here at the railway station. Got things like this. Pictures. And here's a letter from Alexander in the 5th grade who says, "You are heroes. Thank you for guaranteeing our safe future." Misguided, discarded messages of support for a disastrous war. Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Kozachій Лопані, Ukraine.